Hello everybody, this is Team 4. We decided to choose the project Battleship, and to start off with, we started code of the Battleship Java. This is our backbone that we started with in our game. This is where we started coding everything, and then commented out a lot of stuff, and segmented those out into different classes and different packages. We went through, and really this is just condensed now into calling our main menu view and our main menu control classes, where our main menu actually runs the game. So inside main menu view, we have, notice all of our imports, and then we have our main menu screens, and it goes through and has different menus, calls different instances of ship menus and gameplay and settings, help, a lot of things that we wanted to incorporate into the game that we just didn't have time to do. And this is, of course, the view. It goes into the control, is where it actually runs a lot of the functions from. So inside the main menu control, notice that we have a couple things here where it welcomes you to Battleship, and then starts the game and kicks off some other menus to go into some different subscreens.
Okay, this is Jordan. I'm going to show you the mainframe. If you go to the design part first, we go in and we put in different panels and buttons and text areas to come up with the different buttons, and then decide or put in actions for each button that would go in and execute different code. And so when you go to the source, it's calling the get input from the main menu view, and then it goes in, and the first one we programmed the exit, which is this dispose, which just exits out of the game. And then the other ones that we've gone on to put in would be settings frame, scoreboard frame, and enter player name, and they're just executing the buttons off the design when the box pops up. So if you go to the Battleship, CIT 260 Battleship, it shows where the mainframe is pulled in there at the java.awt event queue, and that's where it's pulling in the GUI.
I'm talking about board.java. And board.java, we have some loops and things in there to populate our board, but we never did get it connected up, so our board does not actually display, and we never put a graphical interface on it, so we don't have that either.
Then I'm Taylor. I'm going to talk about the enum, and for our settings one, we never quite got it connecting properly so that it would show the different setting options. We got the basics down, but when you run it, it doesn't connect, and so it doesn't reference it the way that it's supposed to.
This is Matthew. So we had some stuff work and then some stuff that didn't. But one of the new things that we added these last couple of weeks was exception handling. So exceptions would be just anything that would kind of throw that is unexpected or maybe expected that's not supposed to happen. So all exceptions are underneath the class of throwable. So if you see the catch there, it says throwable, which means it's creating a new object of the type throwable. And then if you see there, so this is a game status exception. So during the game, if the function spaces left is run, and then something happens where it throws an exception, you'd wrap it in the little try comment there, which tells the program that could be an exception thrown there, and then when it is thrown, the catch statement underneath it catches it, creates the object throwable, and then prints that line unexpected miss count. And if the finally there would just kind of catch any other exception that would throw out of the spaces left function, and then it would just exit the program. So we had a couple of these. This is just kind of one example of it. There's a lot more that we could do with exception handling. It's pretty big and it requires kind of a lot of troubleshooting that we weren't able to do. But this is just one example of exceptions.
All right, I'm David. I'm just going to talk about our main menu. We did put a graphical interface on it, and essentially there were a couple of different options. There was a setting option, there's a start option, and a couple others that we weren't able to get working. So when you hit the start option, that took you into the main part of the game where it started asking you what your name was, where you wanted to place your ships, and then once your ships were done, then that was kind of where the program ended its build. But we were able to get it that far, and I'm going to pass it to Christian now to talk a little bit more about the ship placement.
All right, then right here we have our ship placement class, and you see here, we have all of our variables here at the beginning, and we have, creating the table, where they're all placed, and each of the ship has its own name and the direction and whatnot. And if you actually go down a little bit, and you can see some of the input. So right here we're getting some input. And basically, it takes the input, and you can you choose, the row and the column, and that's where you can put the ship. And then you also see down here how the ship, it actually takes up space, and so we can track where the ship is. And so we have our loop there that tracks everything. And if you keep on going down some more, you can see here's another, our ship placement method where it'll actually use the random here, and it'll actually you can place ships in random locations and random directions. And so that just kind of maps out to where we can put the ships and kind of what they can do.
All right, that is the end of our presentation. Everything else we would do will probably be on our own time. Thanks for joining us this semester.